Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Bradley Walsh and the final countdown. Bradley Walsh had always known that nothing lasted forever. The entertainment industry was ruthless. TV shows came and went, and hosts were replaced in the blink of an eye. But somehow, the chase had beaten the odds. For 15 years, he had been the face of the hit ITV quiz show, guiding contestants through thrilling battles of wits, trading banter with the chasers, and making audiences laugh with his quick wit. But as he prepared for another day of filming, a thought nagged at him. What happens when the audience moves on? He had addressed the question in a recent interview with the Daily Mail, and his answer had been honest. Until people say they've had enough and start switching off, I'll do it. We've had such an extraordinary time together. It's the best job in the world. And it was true. From the very beginning, Bradley had believed in the chase. He still remembered the nerves of filming the pilot back in 2008. At the time, quiz shows had a nasty habit of being axed before they had a chance to find their audience. But something about this one felt different. The audience was made up of ITV bosses, he had told The Express. They found someone in the office to be a contestant. Straight away, I took the contestant's side. The chasers were these big, all-knowing bully types, so I started taking the mickey out of them. When they got a question wrong, I really gave it to them, and everyone was laughing. That's when I knew we had something. And he had been right. But even the best things had an expiration date. As he walked onto the set that day, he took a moment to absorb it all. The brightly lit studio, the giant screens, the audience buzzing with excitement. The chasers, Mark, the Beast Labbit, and the Governess Hegarty, Jenny, the Vixen Ryan, and the rest were already in their places, chatting amongst themselves. Bradley grinned. "All right, gang. Let's see if I can make you lot look daft again today." Mark smirked. "Not likely." The cameras rolled, and just like that, he was back in his element. The first contestant was a retired teacher named Linda. She played well, building up £6,000 in the cash builder. The crowd cheered her on as she faced off against the vixen. "All right, Linda," Bradley said, turning on his signature charm. "What would you do if you win big today?" She smiled. "I'd take my grandchildren to Disneyland. They love the chase, you know. They think you're hilarious." Bradley chuckled. "Well, tell them thank you, and that their nan's got some serious quiz skills." The game continued, filled with close calls and tense moments. But for Bradley, there was always one part of the show that stuck with him: the final moments, when the contestants stood together, staring down the chaser in one last battle. That was when he felt it most, the thrill of the game, the magic of the show. And yet, a small part of him wondered, when would it be his turn to step down? It wasn't that he wanted to leave. If it were up to him, he'd do this for another 15 years. But television was fickle. Audiences moved on. What if one day, people just didn't care anymore? What if the show changed too much? What if someone else was already being lined up as his replacement? Backstage, the producers had been careful not to say too much, but Bradley knew how things worked. TV execs always had a backup plan. He had even heard whispers of who could take over. Some of them made him laugh, others made him wonder. As the show wrapped for the day, Bradley stepped off the stage, still mulling it over. A voice pulled him from his thoughts. "Bradley." He turned to see one of the newer producers standing there, looking hesitant. "Got a moment?" Bradley folded his arms, raising an eyebrow. "That depends. Am I about to be sacked?" The producer laughed nervously. "Not at all, but there have been some discussions." There it was. Bradley forced a smile. "Go on then. Hit me with it." The producer hesitated. "It's just, the network always plans ahead. No decisions have been made, but they've been considering backup hosts for if, and it's a big if, you ever decide to leave. Bradley nodded slowly. He had expected as much. "You mean when I leave?" he corrected. The producer looked uncomfortable. "We hope that won't be for a long time." Bradley sighed. He had been in the business long enough to know that no one lasted forever. He had outlasted expectations, but even he wouldn't be immune to change. Still, he wasn't quite ready to hand over the reins just yet. "You know what?" he said, a glint of mischief in his eye. "Tell them they can plan all they like, but as long as the audience wants me, I'm not going anywhere." The producer grinned. "That's what we were hoping you'd say." Bradley smiled to himself as he walked away. Maybe the chase would outlike him. Maybe one day someone else would stand in his place, reading out the questions, teasing the chasers, making contestants laugh. But for now, the viewers were still watching. The show was still thriving. And as long as that was true, Bradley Walsh wasn't going anywhere. The chase was still on. What do you think? I aim to capture Bradley's passion, the weight of his legacy, and the reality of change in TV. Hope you like it.